Hmm? Alin ka? Teka. Answer mo na.
Ba?
Good day, everyone. Hi, good day, everyone. Start na. Hindi, automatic naman. Sa mga nag-join, ano naman sila.
Nakikita na kaya?
Ganun, hanggang ako.
Wala pa ako eh. Wala mga pasok.
Pero naman ang mouse mo.
Ba't ayan mga kayo? Hindi dali. Ha? Hindi dali. Ano ka nito eh? Ano ka dali? Hindi yan, hindi yan naman na. Ha? Ano sila nilalaro?
Kaya rin nag-i-start.
Send mo sa akin.
Kay Hana ka na magpa-send. Hindi ko maano. Naayos ko yun.
Yun ba yung fast track and easy?
Mm-mm.
Way to permanent residence in Canada?
Mm-mm. Hi, good evening, everyone. We will start at 8 exactly.
Yun ba nila mga paso?
Gmail daw sinend.
Makapasok na ako nila eh. Hindi ko kasi kayo yung circle yun.
Good evening, everyone. Si Miss Jenny kaya, sabihin mo, start na tayo ng Camille from sarado mo na lang benta. Hello, good evening, ma'am, Jenica.
Yes, hi, good evening.
Hi, good evening, everyone. We will start in a bit. Hi, good evening, everyone. So this is a live webinar on migrating to Canada as a healthcare assistant. Of course, um, I will discuss to you on how to migrate or study in Canada as a healthcare assistant. So before we start, let me formally introduce myself. I'll be your host tonight. My name is Rainiel Del Rio, and I'm the Client Acquisition Officer here in Roman Canadian Immigration Services. So, before we start, as I mentioned a while ago, this is a live webinar on how to migrate to Canada as a healthcare assistant. Of course, what makes us different from other immigration services? Of course, we have our own licensed immigration consultant. His name is Mr. Israel Roman. His consultant identification number is R524540. And also, as I mentioned, he's a licensed Canadian immigration consultant. And of course, he's also a registered nurse in Canada. And our main office is located at 6057 Dumont Road, Nanaimo, British Columbia. And here in the Philippines, we're located at President JP Laurel Highway, Lipa City, here in Batangas. So before I proceed, let me give you a credential of our office and also our immigration consultant. Of course, as I mentioned a while ago, we have our own immigration consultant, Mr. Israel Roman. He's a licensed Canadian immigration consultant, registered with College of Immigration and Citizenship Consultants. So, in short, it's CICC. So, CICC, or College of Immigration and Citizenship Consultant, it's like the PRC here in the Philippines. So, and of course, our company, Roman and Associates Immigration Services Limited, is a registered Canadian immigration firm in BC or in Canada. Of course, if you want to search our permits and our certification, you can always go to Canada Business Registry and simply type Roman and Associates Immigration Services. And of course, if you have a doubt, if you have a doubt that you are talking to the right people, of course you can search our immigration consultant to any search engine like Google. Just simply type his name, Israel Roman, and you can search for him. So before we proceed, um, this is how to work as an healthcare assistant in Canada. Of course, you need to apply for a registration with Health Worker Registry and in BC Care Aide and Community Health Worker Registry. But the requirement for international educated healthcare professional or graduates of healthcare assistant program outside of Canada, you must be the requirement for you is you must be residing in BC or in Canada. So in short, you can't apply for a healthcare assistant if you're not living or residing in Canada. So what's the best option for you? So what now? So I'll give you an option. With the help of our partner school, Stenberg College, that later on, Miss Jenny Calicerio will discuss about it. And us here in Roman and Associates Immigration Services, this will be your gateway in studying and living your life in Canada. So before I proceed, let me give, I know the best option to come to Canada as a healthcare aide is, of course, you should apply for a study permit. And after applying for a study permit, of course, you will take the healthcare assistant program or course in our partner school, Stenberg College. And let's say you already have your study permit and your course as a healthcare assistant. What now? So let's see. you already finished your study as a healthcare assistant in Canada. You can apply for a work permit with LAMIA, or LAMIA stands for Labor Market Impact Assessment. Then after that, you can apply for a permanent residency under the caregiver pathway or program. And if you want to continue your study, let's say you're a registered nurse here in the Philippines, you can, and if you and you want to continue your study, you can take a postgraduate diploma in Canadian nursing, of course, in our partner school, Stenberg College, or you should take an early childhood education. Yes, I know, all of us, we know that student pathway is a big investment. Of course, we're an international student, but I see it as a good investment because you may have the control on what will happen towards your future. Of course, the question we always encounter after applying for a student permit is, yes, after I finish my course as a healthcare assistant, and then the question we always encounter is there really a job waiting for me? As you can see on this slide, flash on your screen, these are the available jobs waiting for you as a healthcare assistant or healthcare aide in Canada. As you can see, depends on your location. For example, in British Columbia, the available jobs waiting for you is at 117. In Lower Mainland or Southwest region, there's 53 available jobs, so on and so forth. These slides only show that we have many available jobs waiting for you in Canada as a healthcare assistant or healthcare aide. So before we proceed with the next slide, after knowing that yes, there's a job waiting for me as a healthcare assistant in Canada, how much am I going to earn as a healthcare assistant? As you can see on our slide, there's only one way on checking on how are you earning depending on what specific location or community area where your employer is located. As you can see on the flashes on your screen, in British Columbia, of course, we have three categories of wages. So you can see we have the low, median, and high. So low, median, and high, these are the categories where your employer belongs in terms of their financial capacity to pay towards their employee. So for example, let's say you're working as a healthcare assistant in British Columbia. As a low wages, you can earn as much as 18 Canadian dollar per hour. In median, 22, and in high, you can earn as much as 25. In Cariboo region, you can earn as 18 Canadian dollar per hour, 21.85 in median, and in high, you can earn as much 24.86. So on and so forth. So these tables only show that how much are you earning as a healthcare assistant in Canada. And after that, this slide only shows that these are the job opportunities over the next 3 years. For example, this is just an example on how good opportunity in Canada, that even you finish your, let's say you finish already your first contract to your employer, there will be still available jobs waiting for you. That's how good opportunity in Canada. You will never run out of opportunity. So after knowing, is there a real job waiting for you as a healthcare assistant in Canada? Is how much are you going to earn? And is there really job waiting for me after I finish my first contract? Let's now proceed on. Let me give you an example on how much are you earning as a healthcare assistant. Flash on your screen is an hourly rate for an healthcare assistant or healthcare aide in Canada. As you can see, the salary range is amounting to 25.83 per hour. So let me give you a sample computation on how much are you earning. For example, you're working as a healthcare assistant in Canada. In a week, and you're earning as much as 25.83 per hour, and you're working 40 hours a week, you're earning as much as 1,033.20 Canadian dollar. And of course, in a month, You can earn as much as 4,132.80. And in a year, you're earning as much as 53,726.40. So let us convert that to Philippine peso. For example, Canadian dollars is at 43. You can earn as much as 2.3 million pesos working as a healthcare assistant or healthcare aide in Canada. So the question here is, for example, you're a registered nurse here in the Philippines. Do you think you can earn as much as 2.3 million in a year? And definitely, the answer is no. Let's say, as a healthcare assistant, you're looking for maximum of 6 patient or client. And if you're a registered nurse here in the Philippines, you're looking for, let's say, 10 to 20 clients per shift or per day. And you're earning as a healthcare assistant, you're earning as much as 2.3. So another work you can apply in Canada is a in-home caregiver. So what is in-home caregiver? In-home caregiver, this is more on taking care of an elderly client or patient. So let me give you an hourly rate if you're working as an in-home caregiver in Canada. For example, this is depending on where are you located in Canada. For example, in low, you're earning as much as 12.91. In median, you're earning as much as 16.85. And in high, you're earning as much as 24 per hour. So let me give you a computation on how much are you earning as a in-home caregiver. For example, you're earning 16.85 an hour and you're working 40 hours a week. You can earn as much as 674 Canadian dollar. And in a month, you can earn as much as 2,696. And in a year, you're earning as much as 35,048 Canadian dollars. So let me give you a computation on how much are you earning as in peso. So you're earning as much as 1.5 million working as an in-home caregiver in the Canada. So the question again, if you're working as a registered nurse here in the Philippines, taking care or looking for 10 or 20 clients per day, do you think you can earn as much as 1.5 million in a year? Definitely the answer is not. So again, what are the advantages in joining with us here in Roman? So of course, as I mentioned a while ago, we are partner school with college that delivers exceptional education. Of course, that's the Stenberg College that later Miss Jenny Caliserio will discuss. And of course, we have a reasonable administrative fee. We are 50% off on our professional fee or consultant's fee. And of course, you will have your job security. And you will have an employer with LAMIA. So LAMIA stands for Labor Market Impact Assessment. And of course, you have a multiple options to stay to Canada after your study. So you don't have to go back in the Philippines after finishing your study because you will have your own, you will have your job security in Canada. Of course, as I mentioned a while ago, with the help of our partner school, Stenberg College, and us here in Roman and Associates Immigration Services, this will be your gateway in studying and living your life in Canada. And with this, I will now hand over the hosting to Ma'am Jenica.
Hi, Rainiel. Hello, everyone. Good evening. I hope you can hear me. So thank you for joining tonight's webinar with Roman and Associates team. I'm very excited to be here again. My name is Janica Licerio. I'm the Director of International Admissions and Recruitment for Southeast Asia and the Middle East at Stenberg College. So I'm going to provide you information about the program that we are offering at Stenberg, which is Healthcare Assistant Diploma. So let me just share my screen with you. And before I discuss anything, if you have any questions along the way, just kindly type them in and we will be addressing them later on. So first, let me just show you the introductory video of Stenberg College. Okay, so there you go. Just to give you a bit of a background, who takes care of your application documents when working with Roman and Associates team and with Stenberg. At Stenberg College, you have me, and then I also have Alexa Laxa. So you might encounter our names while you're speaking with Roman and Associates. So we are the international team for Southeast Asia and the Middle East. All right. Now let me give you a bit of an overview of who Stenberg College is. So Stenberg College is a private, post-secondary college. We are a DLI, and we were founded back in 1990 by Mary Jane Stenberg. So we really originated as a medical college. Our first few program offerings were nursing programs. So we were very successful with the outcome of our graduates, that we were able to expand as an institution. We are now offering different programs, not just in healthcare, but we also have programs in education and human services and in business. But for tonight, we're only going to be talking about healthcare assistant. Now we're actually under the management of Tech Global. So we have a sister school, which is Center for Arts and Technology. The campus itself is located in Surrey. So Surrey, if you're not aware yet, Surrey is actually a suburb of Vancouver. So if you have relatives living in Vancouver, that shouldn't be any problems, because that's just 40-minute train ride away from Surrey. Now, the good thing about living in Surrey, if in case that you're going to live on your own, you will have a lower cost of living compared to Vancouver downtown. So approximately 21% lower. But you still have all of the opportunities available to you. Now, one of the things that really sets us apart as an institution is that we have a very strong employer and industry relations. So that's something that I'm going to discuss later on. Once you become part of Stenberg College, you will be provided with all the support and services that you need. Now, I've listed down some of the support and services that we have for international students, but I want to highlight two things here. I want to highlight the academic support and the career services. So, number one, why academic support? Because we want to remind students, although you might have your own goals, dual intent in going to Canada, we want to remind you that you still need to study. So in order for you to do really well and graduate from your program, you have to be academically present. So with that, we support our students. We can provide a one-on-one session if that's something that you need, a life coach if you need that, to assist you with adjusting to the new environment, to the new culture, adjusting to probably your new schedule, right? We also offer free English classes. So if you want to improve on your English communication skills, you can sign up for that. And what you can also expect is that you will have a smaller class size, meaning it's a more conducive environment for learning because you're able to ask your questions and really engage into discussions. Now, another thing that I said I wanted to highlight here is the career services. Now, apart from studying, of course, you have the ability to work, right? So with the work, you'll actually be meeting our career services during the orientation, and they will be assisting you with your resumes as well. So if you need to improve or, create a Canadian standard resume, then career services will be assisting you. And they will be redirecting you to our partner employers if you are looking for a part-time work. Now, when it comes to the co-op, so co-op means cooperative work experience. It's like your internship. So we have that incorporated into your program. So after you study, after the theoretical part, there will be the practical, the application, which is the co-op part, where we will place you with an employer. You'll be working there. It's going to be paid. And you'll be working 20 hours there, but you can also use your work rights, which is 20 hours per week as well. So ultimately, you can be working up to 40 hours while you're under co-op. Now, the career services will be doing a job placement for you there. So there is no need for you to look for your own employers. All right, so now let's tackle the healthcare assistant diploma. Let me just show you this video of our graduates. This was shot when they were still doing their co-op. So they're now graduates. I hope that you learned something from how the healthcare assistant job would be like.
I have nothing but respect for the healthcare assistants, because if it weren't for the healthcare assistants, the nurses don't know the patients or the residents the way that the healthcare assistants do. They are the first line of defense, if you will. They come to you and they know when your patient is having any kind of a bad day or a good day. They know them way better than I do as a nurse. And so I 100% depend on the healthcare assistants to come to me with whatever needs to be done for that patient. What I first noted about Stenberg College right away when I started here was that there are so many resources available to the students, and the faculty and the school itself really cares about the success of Stenberg College students. What particularly impresses me about the HCA program here is the in-depth and breadth of knowledge and curriculum that is taught. It's not only just the provincial curriculum that's being taught, but it goes further so that the healthcare assistants can understand the diagnosis, not just what to do when this person has this. If they fully understand it, then they're going to do better in their career.
Our HCA program, I feel, is one of the best because of the simulations lab, the nursing lab, the way that they have integrated the nursing instructors to be able to have them in the same classroom, sometimes in the same lab as nursing students. So they have that cross-pollination of information with each other.
I get really excited when I teach, and I'm sure some of my students, if asked, would say this about me. I'm not just talking about diabetes, for example. I get involved in the background of it and then how to care for said person with diabetes. And so what I hope to pass on to my students is to get excited about it and not just treat it as just a job. It's not just a job that pays the bills. You're helping people, you understand, you do this, and this is the rationale for it. And to be able to help people, and not only the patients, but their family and their extended family and the colleagues that you work with, I think it's really exciting for me, both on the floor, nursing, and to instill that into my students. What I like my students to take away from the classroom, not only into their clinical, but into their careers, is the ability to believe in themselves and that they really are making a difference.
Growing old is inevitable, I suppose, and from my point of view, I just do the best I can for myself and for other people. I really think that here the staff are wonderful, and I'm just thankful that I'm in a place like this.
Before the HCA program, I was a housewife and I have regular jobs, but not a career.
Coming to Canada, I have like big dreams. For a starting point, it is very hard. I got like little bit confident. Okay, I can work in a gas station, and I started working there. But going and coming back, it's the same routine, and then it's just stuck. The life is stuck.
My life before this, I was a digital designer. It was just hard to deal with contract jobs and not knowing whether if I'm able to support my son next week.
When I first started, all over it was a good experience, but I did have some obstacles. With the extra help from Stenberg staff, I pulled through with success.
We work together. If there is any kind of problem, personal problem, or about the education, so we work together, and so that everybody is fine.
We were given all the tools and all the skills that we needed to have in the real world.
Now, I got more confidence that I can do better.
All the comments I got from my preceptor, they said it did not feel like they're working with a student. It felt like they're working with another HCA.
Iris called me one day to come for an interview. And then I got the job.
I have a stable job where I have income coming in, which I love doing. And with that, I can also invest into my hobbies, which is design now.
I love working with elderly people. I love making a change, giving my minute or two and talk to them, make a difference in their life.
Having this job is perfect for me.
I remember one time I did go back, even though I was already off clock. I went back and went to see one of the residents. And just seeing their faces react to you, even coming back to them to talk to them, it's just rewarding. Not only it feels right, but it just, you're happy, knowing that you're making other people happy. I have a feeling that eventually people are going to realize this is a good, perfect career choice.
I have
Okay, there you go. So now you have an idea what a healthcare assistant does. And just to add to that, you are actually not limited to just working in home support agencies or residential care facilities. If in the future you plan to work in a hospital setting, you can actually do that. You can even take care of children. Now, the good thing about our program is that it is fully recognized by the BC Care Aide registry. So it's like the regulatory body for care aides in the province. Being a healthcare assistant is an essential work. You will have your paid co-op and job placement. We will assist you in getting yourself registered after the completion of the program. And the best thing here is that we have 100% employment rate of our graduates. Now, if you want to enroll into this program, we have two variations of the program. The first is, as you can see, it's called HCA Diploma with Co-op International. If you will need a 3-month English component prior to the program, okay, it's going to be 1.3 years in duration. You will have 6 months of paid co-op. Yes, IELTS will be required. And the reason is BC Care Aide Registry requires it. You will not get yourself registered to the BC Care Aide Registry without it. This is why we have incorporated it into our entry requirement. So if you have IELTS, general or academic can be accepted. On the HCA Diploma with Co-op International, these are the scores, as you can see from your screens. Now, the total tuition fee that we have here would be for the full duration of the program already. It will already include your assessment fee, registration fee, IELTS, your medical coverage for the first few months, your materials, your books, they're all included there. You don't have to pay for everything in one go. You can just pay the initial deposit and then have the rest of the balance paid per installment when you're already in Canada. Now, let's say you don't need the 3-month English studies component, okay? Then you can study HCA diploma for just 8.5 months. You will still have 2.5 months paid co-op, and IELTS will be the scores listed on your screens. Total tuition fee would be 15,400 with an initial deposit of 5,150 CAD. So the only difference between the two would be the entry requirement. So if you happen to have 6.0 overall score IELTS, then you can go directly to HCA diploma. If you have 0.5 lower on all your IELTS scores, then you can go HCA diploma international. So do we have any bursaries, discounts, scholarships for this program? Right now, if you enroll this year, okay, whatever intake that you plan on 2023, as long as you enroll, okay, we're not just talking about application, but also enrollment, which means you have already reserved your seat for this year, at the end of this year, then you can still get an IELTS cost reimbursement. This means that up to $350 can be reduced from your tuition fee. You just need to send us your IELTS receipt. Another thing is that we can still waive your your application and registration fee worth $400, again, if you enroll within the year 2022. All right, so you'll be saving up to $750 here if you do the enrollment this year. So what's the highlight of the program? This program accepts year 12, which means if you're a K-12 graduate, you're welcome to enroll. If you're a bachelor degree holder, you're welcome to enroll. If you're an undergraduate, as long as you have completed second year of college, you will still be accepted. So conditional job offers are actually available for the program. So this means that we have employer partners. Actually, it's not just retirement concepts, but we have other employer partners who can provide you with a conditional job offer, which means you have the offer and you just need to meet all the conditions, which is to complete the program and get yourself registered as an HCA. Then after that, you can get your LMIA or long-term work sponsorship. And this is why we have 100% employment rate. Now, I just want to highlight, because I mentioned we are a private institution. This means that we do not have a PGWP, okay? Let me just clarify. If you go for a PGWP, then that just means that you're looking for your own sponsor. Basically, that's what you're going to do. We don't need it. We don't need it because our students get those offers even before they graduate. And we also assist them get those offers after the graduation. And again, once you accept your job offer, then you are eligible to apply to these immigration pathways. So we still have 100% employment rate for HCA graduates. So there you go. That is the end of my presentation. I'm just going to skip some slides here, okay? Let me just show you our Facebook page. I just hope that you can visit the page and support it. And if you want to see info sessions from Stenberg as well, you can visit our website. So you can submit your resume to Roman and Associates team to get a free assessment. So we will be assisting Roman and Associates to provide you with a free assessment. Just submit your resume to them. And with that, I'm ending my presentation. So thank you very much for listening. Back to you, Rainiel. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Jenica. So let me get my... So let me just share my screen. So Of course, as Ma'am Jenica mentioned, you can send your resume for eligibility check to assessment@romancis.ca, and then don't forget the subject line assessment for HCA and at Stenberg College. So I'll freeze here our screen. So if you have question or clarification, you can type in our Q&A portion. So um, hello, Ma'am Janica.
Yes.
We have a question from Mr. Michael Tagud. So his question is, what if you have a family sponsor for Canada?
Okay, actually, this is a question for an agency, but what I can tell you is that you are allowed to bring your dependents along. If you are thinking about bringing your spouse, then Stenberg will not be eligible for an open work permit. Though, what we can say is that very short yung program. So we highly recommend that you do this and set yourself first and then bring your family over when you are applying for the permanent residency. But definitely if you have children, you can bring them as dependents. Again, it's always just, something that we tell the students that we want you to really get yourself ready first, because it may be too challenging if you already have children along while you're studying and while you're working. So if you can just consider those, because childcare is a bit pricey as well. So just make sure that you have all of those factors in your life sorted. Okay, but I think further discussion for family sponsorship would be a conversation between you and the Roman and Associates team.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Jenica. Hope to Mr. Michael. Hope Ma'am Jenica answer your question. Ma'am Jenica, another one. Question here is: I am a degree holder in nursing and NC2 TESDA. If I'm in Canada, I will have to study in healthcare assistance.
Okay, if you are a degree holder in nursing, you need to clarify that. I think, Michael, you need to submit your resume because we have another program that's actually specifically designed for registered nurses. So I need to know whether you are a registered nurse. Do you have work experience as a registered nurse? Because the NC2 test will not actually have any bearing for you academically. It will help with your visa application, because this just means that you are in the same industry and that you have the interest in doing a healthcare profession, healthcare assistant profession. So it helps in that sense, but not really as a course to be credited, or it doesn't have any bearing on you academically. So I think we need to identify first whether you are a registered nurse, you have work experience. And if you are already a degree holder, then definitely you qualify for this program because we're only looking for year 12. And again, if you want to be a registered healthcare assistant, then it's either you find yourself work or employer that will sponsor you, or the quickest way, you do a student pathway.
Okay, ma'am, thank you. There you have it, Mr. Michael Tagud. So again, you can send your detailed resume for an eligibility check to assessment@romancis.ca. Don't forget the subject line assessment for HCA at Stenberg College. So again, so there you have it, everyone. This will be the end of our live webinar for HCA program or healthcare assistant. Thank you for joining us. And also, Ms. Jenica, thank you for your time. And everyone, good night. Thanks so much.
Thank you, everyone.